In a quiet orchard in Syracuse, New York, a scientist spotted what looked like an ordinary bee, but within seconds, she realized she was witnessing something almost no one had seen in over a century. A species believed gone from New York since 1904 had just buzzed back into existence. This is the incredible story of the chestnut mining bee, a tiny insect that refused to disappear. Pollinator ecologist Molly Jacobson was working in a research orchard when she noticed a small chestnut-colored bee on a blooming American chestnut tree. She collected 2 tiny specimens, confirming the first sighting of this species in central New York and only the second known population in the state. This bee, Andrena rennie, had last been recorded in southern New York in 1904. After that, nothing. It was labeled possibly extirpated, essentially treated as gone. Yet here it was, alive, and hundreds of miles north of where anyone expected. The chestnut mining bee is unlike the bees most people know. It's solitary, not a hive builder. It nests underground, and surprisingly, it cannot sting. But what truly sets it apart is its diet. It is a pollen specialist that relies almost entirely on chestnut and chinquapin flowers. This worked beautifully when American chestnut trees dominated eastern forests, an estimated 3 to 4 billion trees, once called the redwood of the East. But then came the chestnut blight, a fungal disease that wiped out billions of trees in just a few decades. With the trees gone, the bee's fate seemed sealed. For decades, the chestnut mining bee vanished from scientific records. Then, in 2018, researchers found it in Maryland. In 2023, Jacobson discovered a population in Westchester County, the first confirmed sighting in New York in over a century. And now, the Syracuse discovery pushes the story even further. It is the first time the bee has ever been recorded north of the Hudson Valley. This suggests the species may be quietly surviving in pockets of chestnut plantings across the state, overlooked, unnoticed, but hanging on. The orchard where the bee was found is part of a massive effort to bring back the American chestnut. Researchers at ESF are growing American chestnut chinquapin hybrids and blight-tolerant varieties like the Darling 58 line. These trees aren't just symbols of restoration, they're lifelines. The bee offers a living example of how restoring a keystone tree can ripple out and support specialized wildlife. The return of the chestnut mining bee shows that when the right plants come back, the animals that depend on them sometimes return too. In New York, the chestnut mining bee is considered imperiled, one of the rarest bees in the state. Its presence in an urban orchard is a powerful message. It suggests that thoughtfully planted trees in cities, suburbs, and small towns can host surprising biodiversity. Just as backyard milkweed helps monarch butterflies, chestnut groves in parks, campuses, and neighborhoods can support species that almost vanished. This tiny, easily overlooked bee is telling us something important. When we restore ecosystems, nature responds. Small, brown, and nearly invisible, the chestnut mining bee isn't a creature most people will ever notice. But its quiet return is a hopeful reminder that even after a century of silence, life can find its way back. If you enjoyed this story of rediscovery and resilience, make sure to like, subscribe, and explore more hidden wonders of the natural world.